Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the spot where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Welcome home, Brains. There's only one requirement to hang out on the edge, is that you open your big brain and close your small mind. Did you bring your thinking caps? It's time to put them on, because the conversation starts now.
Nothing like a pair of Uggs. I resisted Uggs for the longest time. Went to Australia and absolutely fell in love with them. I met the founder of Uggs and got to talk to him about his business model. Let me tell you, that sheepskin had made that man $1 gazillion. And then he turned around, and told me, Marg, that he's broke now.
Wow.
Sold the business and everything. So I'm glad that you are here with me on the edge, the place where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. You are absolutely beautiful. We are going to have a great time here on the show today. Marg, we're going to talk about this access bars and access consciousness. What the heck is that? I've had, other people talk to me about it. They've been so excited about it. They said that it has cleared them. But I don't understand it. So I want you to explain to me a little bit about what that is. You have experienced some neuro-linguistic programming. You've also done some timeline therapy. Both of those are amazing, but now you're pouring that into individuals because you were a victim of some bullying and some trauma, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Correct.
That's awful. So let's dial back. Tell me a little bit about your upbringing and the things that people did to you.
Throughout my school life, I was just bullied throughout my primary school, throughout my high school. I had my hair cut in high school. I had baseball bats thrown at me. I had a knife at me. So throughout my school life was just a really unhappy time. I just didn't really enjoy being at school at all. Then when I finished school and went out to work, I copped the same thing. I had sexual harassment in the workplace. I'd been bullied, then having abusive relationships. It was just like it just continued on. It was like it just never ended. It's like, what did I do to deserve being treated that way? So now, that was really...
You didn't do a damn thing. And I don't know why people do that. Well, I'll put it this way. Everybody has been subjected to some sort of bullying in their life. Because you know what? That teaches you your boundaries. That really does. Yes. It teaches you how to defend yourself. That teaches you how to stand up for yourself. But just it seems like some people are just like targets.
Absolutely.
And
I feel like that, yeah.
So what happened with that? Did you talk to your parents? Did they try to address the administrators at school? What happened?
Well, my stepfather, that I was living with my mum and my stepfather was a pervert. So he used to go outside the back door and perv through me through the curtains at home. So I never got on with him at all. I hated him, but now I've learned to forgive him for what he did. So no, he never was not like a father for me at all. So basically my stepfather was not a father, even though he was in my life. My grandfather was the best thing for me. He was a real father figure to me. And to this day, I really miss him. Excuse me.
I know,
just touches my heart when I think about my grandfather. So exactly. I kept it quiet. I kept a lot of this stuff all to myself. I didn't really, I talked to my mum. My mum's always been by my side. She's always been very supportive. I love my mum dearly. And even to this day, she supports me and really proud of me. I really just kept it all to myself. And I guess over time, over years and years, it just kept piling up and piling up and piling up. And it got to that stage where I was just so angry. Like this is like last year when COVID hit. I was so angry because I just didn't know what to do. I had all these years of bullying and all these years of being treated like crap and verbal abusive relationships and being cheated on and lied to. And it gets to that stage where you think, what did I do to deserve this? Why did I come into this earth? And I just really wanted to end my life because how's life going to get any better? I just didn't see any way out. And I lost my job due to a workplace injury. And then at that last place, I was bullied for 7 years. And, it just gets on top of you. Like everything from your childhood through your adulthood just gets on top of you. And you start thinking, well, what's the point of living? And that's when I discovered all my trainings, and it's just been like a blessing in disguise.
No, it was a blessing that was revealed. But, you know, as they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Absolutely.
The teacher will appear.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I hate to say this, and I say it all the time. To whom much is given, much is required. You know?
Absolutely.
And you now have a responsibility because you carry the torch.
Yes.
You are going to light the way for so many others that are, you know, victimized. And I say, you know, I've never been bullied because I will kick ass. Excuse me. Okay? You know what? But I don't bother people. But I do not let you bother me. You know, I had somebody that was, you know, on the internet here, kept requiring me to join a group. And, you know, I said, you know, I'm not with that. I don't do that. Well, we disagree and all this. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to unmute you and block you. I'm going to cut it out. So that's what you do, Brains. You got to learn how to nip it in the bud. It's hard, though, when it's in the workplace because that's where you have to work. You know, it's hard when you are a child in school because you don't feel that there's anybody that you can turn to. So now you're at this point in your life where you have found access consciousness. How did you find it? Or how should I say, how did it find you?
I found it after I had done my NLP training because I thought, what else can I do in life? So I just stumbled across Access Consciousness online. I thought, oh, okay, this sounds really interesting. It's still working with the brain. It's still clearing out all that negativity that's stored in your brain. And I thought, okay, this sounds really interesting. So I got in touch with a facilitator here in Adelaide, and a friend of mine, we both booked in and did it. And when I did it, I thought, oh my goodness, this stuff really is powerful and amazing. So I then became a facilitator, or not facilitator, a practitioner of access bars, because it just, anything that's going to help you with your brain and help clear out the clutter that doesn't serve you, help clear out the negativity, anything that's going to help with your mental health, you've got to get out there and try it and do it, because, you know, we're all 100% responsible for our own life, and it's not anyone else's responsibility to fix yourself. I mean, you can go looking, but ultimately it's up to you. And I just went looking while COVID was on. I just went looking everywhere to find stuff, and I stumbled across Access, and it's just the best thing. It truly is amazing.
All right. So what's so amazing about it? What is it? Okay, I don't want to just hear the $25 word. Oh, it's amazing. It's brilliant. How does it work?
Okay, April, there's 32 unique points. Sorry, I've just got to touch my head for a minute. There's 32 unique points that are on our head. And those 32 points correlate to different areas and aspects of our life. And if you can see the chart behind me, it relates to peace and gratitude, kindness and calm, time and space, communication, sexuality. It relates to all those bars, relate to all different areas and aspects of our life. So what we do is, as a practitioner, we gently touch those points, and an electromagnetic charge goes into those points and just helps clear out anything that doesn't belong, anything that's negative, anything that doesn't serve a purpose gets cleared out of their mind. So basically, it's like anything that's in them that doesn't serve them, I take it out of them and it comes out through me and it gets released. It's just like, I'll give you an example. On the weekend, I had a lady who came to me for access bars who had back pain. She said, oh, this chair's really great. Reclined her in my chair. She said, oh, this is brilliant for my back. Worked on her, finished the session, and she got out that chair and she said, my back pain's gone.
Really?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, is this long term? Is this something that you kind of have to continuously, like the chiropractor? You got to go every 4 weeks? What's the deal?
Well, access bars is like, I mean, you can have it done weekly if you want, or you can have it done monthly. It depends. Your body will basically tell you, April, when it feels like it wants its bars run again. So when you start getting cluttered, full of clutter in your head again, and you might want that negativity starts piling up, it's really an individual basis thing. It's like, you know, I might want it done daily, weekly, monthly. It's just your body will tell you, April, when it decides it wants to have the bars run again. So yeah, it's just, once you've had it done once, it's just an amazing experience. I mean, the best thing you feel is just total relaxation.
It's like a mental orgasm.
Absolutely. Yes.
Nothing like a charge, baby. Nothing like a charge. Okay, so now can people do this on themselves, or do they need a facilitator?
Well, you can, but I'm a bit of contortionist, so it's a little hard to sort of get my hands in those points. So. But no, it's much easier, April, if you find someone who's another practitioner who you can do bars, like we give and receive. So yeah, if you find somebody else who can do bars, yeah, absolutely. It's much easier if you have somebody who can do it on yourself. Otherwise, yeah, your hands are sort of going, you won't always get the right spots if you're doing it on yourself. So, but I do try.
Like the orgasm, sometimes you don't get the right spot if you're doing it yourself.
Well, there is a bar in sexuality, so I guess I could touch that a lot more.
Exactly. We're being naughty, but you know, but seriously, finding a practitioner, is that like finding a chiropractor, finding a doctor? I mean, you know, everyone. And I keep it 100. I don't want everybody touching on me. I don't want to exchange energy with just anybody. Should you kind of have some sort of relationship, some sort of conversation with the person that you are going to let, you know, touch into your deepest parts of your soul, your body, your heart?
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. We've got a place where we can go where it's called accessconsciousness.com, and that's where all the practitioners all around the world are listed on there. So Access Consciousness has been around since the 1990s, formed by Gary Douglas. So once you've done your practitioner training, you actually get certified. And if you want, you can be on the Access Consciousness website. So if someone's looking for access bars, you just go into your country, go into your state, and then by state, it actually lists all the certified practitioners. So what I always suggest people do is to contact me for a discovery call. That way, you know, they're more than happy to talk to me, see how I operate, have a feel whether they feel I'm the right practitioner for them. I mean, but then I'm out there doing markets every week, and what I do is I actually go up to people and I talk to them about access bars and just give them a bit of a rundown on what it does. And then when they feel comfortable, they say, yeah, I'd love to have a session. So I always talk to them first, just to.
Is this expensive?
Just to tell them. Expensive?
Yeah, I'm sure that each practitioner, you know, works their own scale, but is it something that's expensive for people?
Well, I guess it depends on everybody looks at it differently. I mean, really, I think it in the sense of our bodies are our investment. It's our health is an investment. So what you spend on yourself to improve your health and your well-being is an investment. So yes, there will be some people out there will say, oh, that's just too expensive. And that's fine. I respect their decision. And I would never say, look, have a go at them for it, because that's their decision and maybe they're not ready for it. But for me, I think anything that's an investment on yourself, you should spend that money.
Yeah, like your hair, your shoes, your food.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So now after you get your bars run, you've got this clarity. Well, let me go back. How do you clear yourself? You know, it's a lot of work, because once upon a time I was going to be a massage therapist. And I started touching people and started thinking about it. And I was like, ew, I didn't want to take on sickness, pain, you know, injury. I didn't want to exchange that energy, in all honesty. I got enough going on. Okay. So how do you clear yourself? Because again, you are a conduit.
Well, when I'm running the bars, basically their energy goes from them and through me and out through my, keep my hands down, out through my head. So it doesn't store into me. Like I take it on board what they're telling me and how they're feeling, but it doesn't affect me at all. I may feel drained at the end of a session. I may feel a little tired, but it doesn't affect me at all. I just want to keep helping them. If I hear that there's something negative going on in their life or something emotional, I then will say, look, here's my business card. Please reach out. I'm more than happy to talk to them. It's not just all about money for me. It's like, yes, I want to help people. This is my business now. But if somebody is struggling after I've done an access bar session and maybe they can't afford to go on and do another form of investment for themselves, I still say, look, please reach out to me. I'm still here happy to talk to you. And but I just don't let it affect me, because otherwise, if I let it affect me, then it's going to bring me down, and I don't need that.
No, you don't need that. So you've done other things, neuro-linguistic programming.
Absolutely.
I had a conversation with myself the other day. Let me tell you, it was heavy. I was like, I had to take notes. I was like, okay, April said this, and then April said that, and then April said this, and April responded to that. You know, and what I did was really, and I went back and I read over my notes, and it was a pretty powerful experience. Cause I like to go out. It would be powerful, but you know what? I changed the conversation in my head because I realized what I was saying and what was rattling around, and there was a bunch of junk. It was a bunch of nonsense, you know. But you, like you said, you get so beat down because you're listening to these outside influences, and all these people pouring this stuff into you like, you know, vinegar on a wound.
Absolutely.
So, you know, what was your awakening? What was just the final point where you said, I am worthy, I am worth it, I'm going to change? Let me correct that. I'm going to change how I process and how I receive what other people are doing to me, because it was never you.
No. I think it was probably after I did my first NLP practitioner training here in Adelaide, after we learned how to study language of the mind and how people think and how they see, because everyone's different, the auditory, visual, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory, so that's the way that they experience all the process.
You said that like a foreign language. Slow down. What was that, girl? What is that?
Well, neuro, in the NLP, we have neuro, which is basically an experience processed by 5 senses, which is your visual, which is obviously using your pictures and how you see things. Then you've got auditory, which is the way that we hear things. Then we've got kinesthetic, which is your feelings and your sensations. Then you've got olfactory, which is smell, and then you've got gustatory, which is taste. Okay. So people experience things in different ways, like how you may visualize something is different to how I visualize something. So when you're working with somebody, you have to work out how do they, some people are disassociated, some people are associated. So you start to, and you look at people's eye patterns as well, and you can see by how they're remembering and how they're bringing things back into their mind. So NLP is really, it's basically a form of language of the mind, like watching how people communicate and then working out how you're going to work with them through the way that they.
A lot of people, and that's what I think I'm going to do too. When things slow down for me just a little bit, I think I'm going to take an NLP course. You know, I just need to have time. I need to have the time to kind of concentrate, because I know what it is. I've had it done, you know, and so I really kind of want to get involved so I can help other people. I don't know if I would be a practitioner, but you never say never. But I really think it would be helpful, and it would be a tool that I can share with other individuals. Now, you talk as fast as you drive cars. Girl, tell us about that. Grace, she loves race cars. You got to see this. I mean, she is with it. Okay, tell us about that. I love that.
Okay, well, I got into supercars when I was about 20 years ago. My partner was into V8 supercars. They're like a V8 motor, bit like, I guess it's a bit like your Chevrolets and I don't know what else you got over there, Chevrolets and Mustangs. And I was just following this racing car driver, and because he was, you know, on nice eye candy as well.
He's not a snack, it was a full meal, huh?
And I used to just go and watch his racing, and we were connected, and I met him for the very first time and got to know him, and we used to connect and text and message each other quite a lot. And then I got invited to go and have a hot lap, which means hopping in his car, and he drove the car like he'd stolen it.
Wait, you're telling me some good stuff and you just run it through it. You did a hot lap. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'm scared of that. Did you run his bars?
No, but I had my hand on his leg. I had one hand on his leg and one hand on, can I use the Jesus word? On the Jesus bar, going, slow down, slow down.
You shifted him down to the 5th gear. I got you.
Yes.
All right. So you got in this race car and you went for a few laps and you fell in love with it?
It was fantastic. We did 256 kilometres down the back straight, and he's tossing the car through the chicanes and up this way and that way, and it's like my stomach was like left behind at the start line. But yeah, it's just amazing how you have a real good, after you've been in a racing car and you feel how the car rides and how they brake and how they drive, it gives you a real experience of how these racing car drivers actually drive, and the pressure and the way, you know, you've really got to really be a high athlete to be able to drive these things. But yeah, it's just the fastness of the cars, and the smell of the rubber.
Wow. Well,
you smell and the eye candy.
I was in the hospital one time, and my neighbor next to me was watching NASCAR. Girl, and I was trying to relax on that Demerol. And I told her if she didn't turn down that damn NASCAR, I was going to hurt her. But she, and so then, you know, I kind of went with it, and I asked her to explain that to me. I said, why is it that you're so excited about seeing somebody do 200 laps at 200 miles an hour? And she explained to me, like you did, there's a skill, there's an energy. You have to be an athlete. You have to pay, you know, close attention. You're right on somebody's tail the whole time. And it really is a fascinating sport. Here in the United States, you know, Black Americans are just really being welcomed into the sport. And we've got some pretty affluent female driver as well as a Black driver that are really, you know, incorporating and getting ingrained into the sport. And there's a lot of money that's poured into that too. Those cars are not cheap.
No, not at all. Not. I think we've got one of our Australians over there, Scott McLaughlin. He's gone over there now to race in NASCAR. So keep an eye on him.
I will. And I'll tell him that you said so. So what would you like to, you know, to pour into my brains that are listening right now, to the person that just feels like there's no hope, you know, that they feel like, you know, that there's nobody that cares? What would you say to them, Mag, that would really encourage them and motivate them?
I would just say to them, if you're really feeling really down and you're feeling really like you've got no hope and you just don't know what to do with your life anymore, just reach out. Don't take the first step. Don't be embarrassed. Don't feel, just do it. Just go out, reach out, take that first step, because believe me, everything in life takes the first step. Look at when you first ride a bicycle, when you first drove a car, it's always that first step. So the same thing with our life. Don't hold back, don't feel ashamed, don't feel embarrassed. Just please, I beg people to go out and take that first step to change their life today, because once you do, you'll be so glad that you did.
Well, it looks like your life has really changed, because I look at that smile. That's $1 million smile. I would never know that you were subjected to such cruelty. Do you have children?
I have got a son, yes. That's another story. That's another part that's been sad for me, because he moved out of home last year and moved in with my narcissistic ex, and him down there just really hurts me. But, you know, you've got to let them, he's 18, or turned 19 now. He's got to learn to live his own life and realise he's starting to understand now that the things I said about his dad is true. But, you know, you've got to let them live their own life, and he'll come back to me when he's...
You can't, I know that a long time ago, you cannot re-raise grown folks. You can't. And the things that hurt you the most are truly your best teachers. He's got to see it for himself. He cannot, you know, the experience that he's going to have. And I say this, you know, with all fairness to your ex, there might be something that they can work out that both of them heal, or he tells his father something. It's never too late. You see how you were able to turn around a situation? He may be able to turn around a situation. Let's leave that door of hope open for him. And your son might be that gateway, you know?
Yes.
You know, or either we can run him over with the race car or
I like that better idea.
We're just joking. But, you know, again, like I said, I don't ever want to give up on anybody, because it's not over until it's over, you know, and we're not in control. We're not in control. We may be in control of the car, but we're not even in control of the bars, because you might work on somebody and they may short circuit. They may not get the result that we think that they are, but there's always hope. And so we want to be optimistic. If nothing else, we can be optimistic, and we want to laugh and we have fun. I tell you, you have been the best guest, and we have laughed and we've been naughty, and we do that on the Edge Brains. Don't get it twisted. Okay, don't think that this is all serious, you know, entrepreneurial, blah, 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 blah. No, we having a candid conversation. I want you to know who Marg is, and really enjoy her and honor her, because she didn't have to come here and tell you what she told you. She didn't have to share. She doesn't have to dedicate her life to try to help you. She's already found the answer. Now what she's trying to do is pour that into you. How do my brains get in contact with you?
They can get contact with me through my website, which is www.purposefullife.com.au, or they can email me at hello@purposefullife.com.au.
AU is for Australia brains. I'm telling you, it is on and popping in the land down under. It is so fun. I'm glad today was the first day for me that I was able to get back out and have lunch with my friend without a mask. I'm getting my second shot, and then I'm on my way back down there to see you because I got so many friends
Awesome.
down there. We are going to have a party. I'm going to let you run my bars. How about that?
I welcome it. Thank you, April. It'd be such a privilege and an honor to do that for you.
And then you're going to take me with your boyfriend, and we're going to sit in the car. I don't know how I'm going to. I'll probably have to take some anti-nausea pills or something like that, but I'm going to go in that race car. I'm going to go in it.
Okay.
All right?
Sounds good to me. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you for being here on the edge, the place where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Brains, I ask that you go in and subscribe. Share these interviews with other people. There's a whole lot of people that are recovering from COVID. There's a whole lot of people that are just suffering. There's a whole lot of kids. I want to ask that really quick. Is this accessible for children? At what age?
Access bars can be run on babies and children. Absolutely.
Really?
Any age, yes.
Wow. Okay. You know, we got to find people help, hope. There's a lot of mental illness that's going on that's undiagnosed and is untreated. A lot of unhappiness. Okay. So I love you. And I always
thank you so much.
Okay.
So grateful for your time today. Thank you so much.
All right, Brains, be good to yourself and everybody that you come in contact with. Bye.